It's another grim record, and it comes as no surprise to the campaigners out testing the water today.
We need to be thinking about not having sewage dumped in our rivers at all. It's dangerous for the whole ecology of the river.
Across England last year, raw sewage spilled out of storm overflows and into England's rivers, lakes and coastal waters for more than 3.6 million hours. Put another way, that's 400 years of poo.
Shameful. This is just by the sewage works and you can smell it.
In North Yorkshire, on this stretch of the River Swale, the same was true. The hours of sewage up. Overall, Yorkshire Water's sewage stats last year did slightly improve. But according to the Save Our Swale campaigners who've been doing regular tests on the water, things are still nowhere near good enough.
You would expect to have clean rivers. We're being asked for a 41% increase in our bills over the next 5 years. That's outrageous. I want a clean river if I'm having to pay that amount of money.
Today's figures have been condemned by the Environment Secretary as disgraceful and the legacy of decades of underinvestment by water companies in the sewage infrastructure. The water companies, meanwhile, often criticised for years of big bonuses and shareholder payouts, pointed to near-record rainfall last year and said only now, with the bill increases coming next month, can the improvements really start.
Well, bill rises are never welcome. We understand just how hard it is for many people at this time, but it is important to remember that since 2010, bills have been falling. In real terms, they're 20% lower than if they'd merely risen with inflation. And as a result of lower water bills, we have not been able to invest as much as we should. So we're now sadly having to play catch-up.
What do we want?
No bailout!
When do we want it?
No! Many eyes today will be on Thames, the debt-laden biggest of all the water companies, with all its existential woes, has been a focus for much of the anger. In today's figures, it's not among the worst for sewage spills, but it has had one of the biggest increases. And with monitors now fitted to every storm overflow in England, meaning more data than in previous years, the Environment Agency, which has also faced criticism for not being tough enough on sewage, warned the water companies improvements must now happen.
I'm really disappointed that the water industry hasn't got to grips with the maintenance of its assets. What we needed really was all of this evidence, which is now coming through, which is greatly improving both investment in the industry and our capacity and capability to regulate, to do something about it.
On the River Calder, we're with some of the members of the Halifax Canoe Club. They're a hardy bunch and don't let the cold or even the dark nights stop them. They too have been doing their own tests on the water because of sewage spills. How bad is it when it's bad?
Really unpleasant. The smell of it.
The smell's horrendous and the water goes brown.
We don't know when things are going to improve. We don't know when it's going to be bad. We just have to risk it when we come down here to paddle.
And that's what it feels like, a risk, every time you go
yes.
in.
Yeah.
And so they'll keep paddling, despite the sewage and the smell, and they say from time to time inevitable sickness, and despite the anger and the protests, and the promises of billions on better infrastructure. Those are long-term fixes, and the sewage will not stop overnight.